Okay, go ahead. Because otherwise I'll just say we had a great practice and Gary will get mad at
me. As you study film of them and the more you see Huntley, anything that you're saying that you didn't know before or see before that he presents in terms of problems?
Well, I think coming into the week, you knew the numbers. That's the first thing you look at of how players are playing of your opponent, and especially the way he's played the last 3 games. I mean, he's put together unbelievable numbers the whole season, and so I think then you start watching how can that happen with a freshman. That's very unusual, and they've done a great job with him. It's a great system. They've somehow managed him to be a freshman but not make a ton of mistakes and not turn the ball over a lot, which is unusual in a first year of a system and a first year quarterback. So a lot of credit to them and to him. He's played really well.
You see a lot of the same skills in him that you saw maybe like in Scott and Mariota?
And I think they're so different. It's hard to compare the two. This guy's a thrower that runs once in a while. The other guy, really is a true system fit for Oregon's system. I don't think they want to run this guy as much as Oregon wants to run their quarterback. So, he was a really good player in high school, and and he's come into a different system than he signed up for, but it's really fitting him well.
Can you talk about how happy you are with the coverage from the strong safety and the Mike linebacker spot specifically?
How happy I am with the coverage of Lamar, and are you counting TJ as strong safety? Or
no, Juwanza, sorry.
Okay. Juwanza doesn't play much man-to-man very often. We keep him in the middle more. TJ comes down, and really Lamar doesn't get matched up much because he's a true Mike. Both those guys are physical players, guys that can cover if you need them to, but it doesn't happen that much in our system.
This is the first time in a long time to see like a real SC UCLA game. I know the kids must be real fired up and your staff must be real fired up. How do you feel about this coming into a real SC UCLA?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement around it. We've got to make sure that we're preparing for the game and for the opponent and not worry about the hype around it. Last year I know people don't remember it that way, but last year's game was for the South Division Championship as well. And obviously we weren't eligible for it, but it was. So this is the way it should be. SC and UCLA football should be relevant.
With all the excitement that you talk about with this rivalry and with this game in particular, how do you keep the players from perhaps getting overexcited and going to Twitter and maybe talking more than they should? How much of an emphasis is that during a week like this?
Yeah, we got that out of the way real early. That was the first meeting. Was about that and about dealing with the media and about dealing with social media. And making sure that we're preparing really well and that we're focused on the preparation of the day and not of the game itself and the other stuff around it.
With finishing your season with a 50-0 win last year, do you feel like in some ways that made expectations for some people a little too high going into next year?
I don't know. I don't know a little too high. I mean, obviously, with the way we ended the last season with the Oregon win up there and then the 50-0 and then Matt and TJ coming back, that obviously created a lot of expectations, but that's going to happen here, and so that's part of being here. We understand that. That's part of SC. It's part of LA, and we just got to deal with it.
When you look at their secondary on tape, what do you see?
Yeah, obviously the corners are really long, high cut, can run. The safeties, TJ's brother's a good player. And Abbott playing over there, and then the true freshman playing as well. So they've got a lot of experience. Those corners have started a ton of games between them, and they're very physical.
Could you talk about Greg Townsend's progression? It seems like you're starting to trust him a little bit more.
Yeah, Greg had a really good 2 weeks here last week and this week of practice, and it's good to see because we've always pictured that Greg's going to be a really good player here. And we've said it before, there are not very many Marquise Lee, Robert Woods stories. You're only going to have 4 or 5 of those around the country every year when guys come in as true freshmen, even though there's 25 5-star players. So the majority of them take a little bit of time, and we see the progression like with most kids that we're seeing with Greg.
How much does Franklin help Huntley's ability to shine?
Well, I'm sure in more ways than what you see on film. Anytime you've got a guy who's played so much and had so much success, and from what I understand, such a good kid in your huddle all the time with you, that helps a freshman quarterback a lot. No different than rookies with veterans around him. So I'm sure that he's helped him a lot on and off the field.
What happened to Demetrius Wright's play this year? Is he still in the rotation and considered an effective player?
Yeah, Demetrius has been playing for us on special teams. He's been banged up a lot with a lot of different little things. That's really hurt us in getting him in the rotation. We had planned to get him in early on. So, it's been unfortunate for him.
Do you expect Silas Redd to be able to play this week?
I hope so.
Do you feel like now that it's kind of towards the end of the season that you are getting healthier at some positions, and is that kind of a relief to you if that's true?
I don't know that I really feel that. We still have a lot of guys that aren't 100%. We had a number of season-ending, in the off season or during training camp. But I think that, even though we have guys out there that are not at 100%, I don't feel like we're the healthiest we've been. No.
One more. Josh Shaw's been playing.
Yeah, I think Josh has done a great job. That's a very hard transition for a guy to do that, to go from safety to corner in the middle of the year, and he's played about as well as you can for that transition. He's a great kid too.